Live from the MC.
Talking about the greats, LeBron, MJ, and I was making my case that a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, not everybody loved Mike.
Yes.
Straight up. No, not everybody loved Mike. But if you didn't love Mike, it's because you didn't respect hustle and greatness. Right. Because when you're that great, you gotta have. You're obviously not gonna be perfect, but you gotta have that trigger that gets you thriving. You know. Yeah. And if I gotta be mad at you before the game and I gotta make some shit up, guess what? If that's what I gotta do to drop 60 on you, then that's what I'm doing.
And it sure as fuck worked. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. And everybody's not the same, but if that's what worked for Mike to get him to that next gear, then that's what worked for him. And as a basketball player myself, I've seen different people react differently, but like I've been on a court with someone that's chewed me out, and just my personality, I can find a better me in that. So like I respond to regardless of what it is. You could chew me out, you could be like, yo, listen, what's up? Like I'm fine with either way. Like, but everybody's not like that. Some people get yelled at and they're like, stop yelling at me.
Oh my God, how do you yell at me?
Why do you talk to me this way?
You know, it's crazy. I told the coach, and I went to meet him last week. I told him, like, yo, coach, if you guys scream at me, you guys yell at us, do it the most brutal way.
Yeah.
That's going to make us want to be more aggressive.
Exactly.
I don't want no soft shit. I'm be honest.
Nah, bro. And it helps you deal with pressure because, as I'm sure you've already encountered, you go into some other arenas and other homes, and that shit is a hostile environment, dog. That shit is a hostile environment. So if you can't even deal with your coach yelling at you, how you gonna deal with the dude from the stands screaming out, "You fucking trash!" and he's busting your fucking ass, and you're just like, stop talking to me like that.
Or ready to slap people like Ron Artest.
Right, like you can't get you have to be able to like blur all of that shit out. Like that whole sideline shit. That's why like I go to my niece's games. I have a niece that plays. And her parents be like, "Oh, do this for sideline, do that." And I'm like, yo, she is not listening to you. She cannot listen to you because when you open up your ears to all that crowd noise, you lose your focus on the game and your coach. That's the only thing you should be hearing.
The child go crazy. What do I do?
Yeah, of course. And they're like, but like, it's natural for parents.
That's why I think my mentor, my father, my father's name is Coach Ricky Hall. That's the one who like made me, play basketball like that. And like he works with kids. Like I see a lot of parents, they're supplying like, hey, do this, and then he just tell the parents like, no, let them play basketball.
Right.
Making a kid like, what do I do? Like, I'm just like, nah.
It's tough to play under that. I'm trying to listen to the coach. I'm trying to listen to my teammates. I'm trying to listen to the other team's plays. And then mommy's in the background like, dale, coño. And you're like, fuck, man.
Huevón. His dad used to yell at us like that when we used to play baseball.
We would be practicing and shit. And if a ground ball got passed, you'd be like, coño, ciego, ¿qué? And you're like, that. But that's practice. That's different. It's like coaching. In a game, it's different. You got to like block all of that out. But, parents ain't going to ever understand. They're like, nah, fuck that. You came out of my toy. You going to do what I say.
Pedazo de carne con ojo.
Yo, the insult.
Angel, do you have like any pre-game routines?
I mean, apart from prayer, like warming up in the court, I always start under the rim. I mean, to get my form shooting right, and after that, like go half court, get my hands right, and after that stretch. You know what I mean? Just get my athletic trainer to stretch me out.
How long does that usually take you? Like, what's your?
This pregame, we got 30 minutes before warm up, so I go out there depending on time I get to the school. Do that right as soon as I get out. I'm already changed, you know what I mean? So I just gotta take up my warm up or whatever. Then you go straight to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I follow this is Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. We call it. That's what we call his warm up because my mentor got to speak to Mahmoud.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he told him what it was like. And then my mentor always told me to write down. We gotta carry out a journal. You know, that's where we got everything down.
That's dope.
And so like from there, I got it in my notebook now, so you don't forget. So going to the rim, 3 makes you got to stretch straight, no net. You know what I mean? Just straight down. You know what I mean? The east side. Then after that, go to the free throw, and then from there back up the ladder. And then go back to the half court and work in your handles. Yeah.
Nice. That's a nice little fucking routine because once you get that shit going straight through, I mean, that was Steph before Steph.
No doubt. A lot of people don't know that, but that was.
A lot of people don't know that, but that was Steph before Steph. He was doing Steph-esque things way before.
That's the real hitter right there.
Yeah, bro, and it's if you didn't grow up watching basketball at that time, you don't really know who he is. You know, so for those of you practicing right now, look up. How do you say his name?
Mahmoud Abdul Rauf.
Abdul Rauf. Look it up. That was Steph before Steph, and he was a little dude too. And he was busting ass out there doing all that shit.
I forgot what's the sickness. I forgot what's it called. But
He did have a sickness, right? Ended his career early.
nah, he just it was this thing in his head that like he had to get it perfect, and he couldn't go home unless it was perfect. So that's what made him like he was making every shot. So that's
I mean,
a type of like OCD.
yeah, I think
yeah, probably.
so, yeah.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, but it's like he had to he had to make sure that everything was right. You know what I mean? And then he had to go home, and they would tell him like, "Oh, no, you got to come back."
Well, I mean, that's practice makes perfect. I always tell. That's one thing I always tell my niece, that you get better in practice. You don't get better during the game
And what you do by yourself when you're at home too. You know what I mean?
when nobody's watching. Absolutely. You heard that? So fucking work. You need just because you nice don't mean you could chill in the crib and then pull up in shorts
sport?
3 times too big for
What
you.
sports you play? Basketball?
Yeah. She plays basketball and she plays softball too.
Watch
Yeah.
film. So I watch film.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh yeah, I record all her games, but she's still like, since she's still on the younger side, like she don't be trying to hurt the other players. And I'd be like, fuck that, though. Hit him with a shoulder and then just go up on him. So like when I
Went down
practice
like a
with
truck,
her,
right?
Yo, elbow to the face.
she just be trying to, like she's just trying out there not to hurt anybody. So I'm trying to teach her now to use her body. So I'm like, block somebody off, create some space for yourself, use your body. But it's something that'll come with age. Because at that young age, all we ever did was teach them to be nice.
Yeah, you're just having fun.
Exactly.
So did you guys see the Last Dance?
Oh
Fire.
yes. Oh yes. Twice.
I saw it twice too. I thought it was fire because
Twice.
of that whole.
But did you get the memo of it?
I mean, we could go around the room and think what we got from it.
What did you think was the memo?
I think the whole memo is like basically that, like hard work and straight, and that was a hard work and a straight leader. Because when he left, and I don't even remember because I was around for all of that, but I don't remember it playing out like that. When he left, Scotty folded, and Scotty should have been the next one to step up and take things. So I feel like what my takeaway is that like true leaders are born, and you work towards it, and not everybody can fill your shoes. So that was my takeaway on that.
I would say leaders could be made as well.
I agree with that.
Leaders don't necessarily have to be born. Now the vision and the hustle, the work ethic, now has to be within. Like you can't have nobody push you to hustle and thrive for greatness if it doesn't come from inside of you.
Agreed completely.
So what I got from it is that, well, in Michael's case, hard work and having skills pays off.
Yes. Yes.
Some people, no matter how much work they put in, their skills is just not there.
Yeah. But then you have, that's where like a hustle player comes in, like somebody who's maybe not necessarily gonna score 20 points for you, but you get like your Matisse Thybules out there who's gonna lock up the other best player.
Fucking Jay Crowder.
You know what I'm saying? That could do a little something for you.
Holiday, man.
Drew Holiday is another two-way player.
But I say it because we're speaking about Mike here.
Yeah. That level is not a level that everyone can get to. And I mean, that's what I took from it. I think, honestly, also, though, what I took from it is that, like, there was a lot of shit going on that the public didn't really know about. All that locker room shit, the issues with Jerry Krause. And, like, I don't know how much of a dick Jerry Krause was, but I'd be lying if I didn't hear some of the shit that, like, they would say Mike would say to him. And I'm not like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, he was treating that little short.
Yeah, but Mike was in the position to do that,
Right, but that speaks volumes about you.
Not Dennis Rodman.
Bro, but
that speaks volumes about you.
And that's what I was saying before. Like, for instance, you never heard that shit about Kobe. On the court, Kobe could have been an asshole. Yeah. And call you whatever, but off the court, that man carried himself like a gentleman.
Well, I heard different from Kobe when he was in the locker room and said, "Tonight I'm scoring 60 because I ain't gonna pass it to."
But the locker room is part of the game. Like I just mean, like on the documentary on a regular, like they was shitting on this dude on the reg. And Mike is Mike. What are you gonna say to him? But I also think that, For me, I was taught to treat the CEO and the janitor the same exact way. I don't give a fuck if you clean the floors or you bought the floors. I treat you the same exact way. And I just think, and again, I respect Mike's game. Mike, you know, I'm a LeBron fan. Mike is the GOAT. Mike is the GOAT. I don't think there should be a debate about that. But I think as a person, Mike was kind of a piece of shit. And we're just talking
He
off.
wasn't the most likable person.
I mean, it's
agreed.
Yes. Now, I just don't know, man. I gotta see more. Like all the Last Dance did was leave me wanting more. Like I wanted more info. I wanted to hear more from what everybody else felt because it seemed like everybody had a different point of view. You know, like I'm sure the next dance is gonna be starring Scotty or some shit.
Bro, what do you think? Mike is making up things in his head to go drop 60 on you. Yes, everybody had a different perspective.
Well, my thing, I felt like, I know y'all always say hard work, but I felt like it was more to compete. You know how soft it is now? Like, just, easy basket. Little pump, you don't do nothing. I feel like it was to compete. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, did it. See the last episode when he started crying? That just showed me, it was like, yeah, this is for competition. Because everybody is soft now. Soft as shit. Like, nobody give a damn. I'll bump you. I ain't going to come back at you, score on you. And that's what I took from it, to compete. You know what I mean? Always want to compete no matter where you at, no matter what you were doing, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's in the basketball court.
Competitive. You beat me, and I'm going to go to the gym for the next few months. I'm going to bulk up, and guess what? I'm going to come back, and I'm going to serve it up hot plate. Little Caesar.
Michael Grover, he trained Dwayne Wade afterwards or whatever. Michael Grover to get him up, get his weight up so he could compete against Detroit because they were throwing him around. He was too skinny, and Michael Grover was like, "Yo, you could put on weight and not slow down if you do it right."
Now imagine if nowadays something like that.
Nobody does that no more.
Like that, you know what I mean? Like,
and first of all, they could file for anything. These dudes in the 90s were borderline playing jail ball, bro.
No excuses.
Yeah.
Jail ball.
No
like,
excuses.
It's true, but it's also that like that we got to remember that the NBA is a business, right? Yeah, it might have been entertaining to watch Mike eat it, but you don't think David Stern every time they gave Mike and Etrayong was in the office like,
this is putting my league at risk. This is all I get.
Bro. And then think about the players that are now playing 20-year careers. You couldn't do that back then because they were washing you.
Like he said, it's a business now. So I feel like they do something you got to pay.
It's always been a business. Let's
and,
not.
it has, but you imagine that Michael would have suffered a heart injury because of those. And
a fucking broken arm or an ankle.
Your star player, there goes your seats. There goes your jersey sales.
And and we're talking about that from a selfish standpoint as fans, because you're not also thinking of the fact that this player, just because you want to be a dick and dale un etrayón or come down on his face, is now out for months after this person's been putting in work for years to get to the level they at. Now, what happens if there's a serious injury?
And you're known as the guy who ended his career.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I think I agree with you that we need some more of that, but I think it needs to be a middle ground where it's not back to what it was, because back then there were players that wouldn't survive in today's NBA because all they knew how to do was fuck niggas up. That was all they knew how to do. That was what they were put on the floor for. They couldn't get you a basket, maybe a couple rebounds. They might give you like 4 rebounds a game and 4 galletas.
And
that's their stats for the game.
That was 4 rebounds, 5 elbows.
That's their paycheck. They're like, oh, he got 20 at half?
Oh yeah,
you're in.
Por lo menos por el grano, dámele.
Yo, bro.
Somebody hit him at Barnes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think there needs to be a middle ground where, yes, bring back some of that grit, but without the type of shit that we used to see back in the day where it was like, you're not even attempting to block me. You're just taking my head off. If you've been I've been low bridge before. I've been taken out of the air. And as a person who's on the receiving end, I never complain, but that shit is scary. You feel me? You get taken out of the air on a layup, bro. I've been on a fast break layup by myself, and someone will just crash into me a todo lo que da, and I'm just hitting that cushion behind the fucking court. Yo, bro, that shit is the worst, bro. And it's like, yo, if you're gonna try to block me, tato, but you just wilding and taking me out. And you know what? I'm also not the kind of player that's gonna complain. I'm gonna be like, okay, está bien. That's how we playing, tato.
Did you finish that layup though?
I blew that shit. I blew that layup, my friend. I was not expecting that shit at all. I'm on a fast break and I was like, oh! I was like, oh!
I thought you were gonna say I dunked it.
Nah, bro. I blew that layup, hard body. Mind you, my funny story, the first game I ever started in high school, I fouled out in the first quarter.
Yo,
The
bro.
first game I started in high school, I fouled out in the first quarter.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like when we found out that you was playing high school, we went online, looked up your stats, bro, and they were looking out you. And I was like,
Oh, terrible.
I was like, that's my man's though.
Bro, first game I fouled, they had me guarding the best player on the other team.
Yes,
And this was my first year playing organized ball. So I didn't know. What I knew was that he wasn't going to score on me easy. I didn't give a fuck what it was. But he was nice. After the first quarter, he started scoring because I couldn't. And it was funny because my coach used to call me Dirty Ivan because there was another Ivan on the team, and he was like Clean Ivan. But I was out there. If I needed to slap somebody was getting slapped. You was not going to score no easy
Detroit
buckets
what?
on me. That's
Detroit
it.
what?
Period, bro. Period. But it was an interesting experience. I didn't even know I fouled out. When the ref's like, yo, you got to sit down. I was like, what the fuck you mean I got to sit down? Why? It's like, nigga, you got 5 fouls. I was like, what? I looked up at the clock. I was like, yo, the first quarter just ended.
I've been on you all night, man.
Bro. Oh, man. That was a funny ass day. But yeah, I think overall, man, I respect everything I've seen from Mike. I respect the drive, the competitive nature, the finding things out of thin air. He said, fuck finding a reason. I'm going to give myself a reason.
Yeah.
Even if I have to make it up in my head. Even if you were picking something out of your eye, I'm going to look at you and be like, oh, you trying to say I don't got court vision? All right. So
I got something for you.
I got something for you. I respect that, but I'm just the kind of person, and I mean, these guys know me pretty well. I'm big on treating people right, being level-headed, and you'll never catch me treating someone badly. That's something you'll never see Stacks the Plug doing, period. So for me personally, seeing kind of that side of Mike, I was kind of like, all right. From the basketball lens, unparalleled. From just being a human lens, he was kind of a piece of shit.
Same goes with a lot of musicians.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course. I mean, we only know a certain part of these people's lives.
And honestly, that's why I've learned to be a fan. If I'm gonna be a fan of people's work and not the person.
Yes.
I could be a fan of your music. I could be a fan of your work on the court or even on the football field, as I like football a little bit more than basketball. But if you are like a dirtbag, that's a turn off. Because I'm also
Absolutely.
the type of person that treat people right. And you have to bring it out of me. Right. Like, you feel me? It might not take much to get it out of me. But, like, you feel me? Like, I'm the type of person that every situation I walk in is respectful. And if I do something that is disrespectful, I probably was, like, unaware.
Yeah.
Or, like, I wasn't being self-aware. So I'm with that shit, too. That was such a turn off for me, too. So I'm not with that.
Hey, yo, Mike, we don't like your personality, you heard?
We're bugging your personality. All right. So I wanted to ask you something that I didn't get to before also, which is something I like to ask most people who come on the show, which is like, if you could give your younger self some advice with the life experiences that you've already lived through now, what would it be? If you could talk to yourself 5 years ago at 15, what advice would you give yourself?
Calm down. Everything's gonna be fine. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, damn, I gotta do this now. But I'm just like, even to this day, I'm like that. I'm just trying to control myself. Like, yo, if it flows, if that's what the universe wants, then that's what it is. You know what I mean? But now I'm always like looking at, like, I used to be like, yo, I want this now. I'm gonna go get it. But some certain things that kills your energy. You know what I mean? That kills yourself. So I'm just like, you know what? If it flows, if it happens, it happens. You know what I mean? If not, there's another way. There's another door. So I just try to relax. You know what I mean? Just go with the flow. I mean, that's what I would tell myself right there.
Tell yourself to take it easy.
Yeah, man.
Well, you know,
Always rushing through things, man. Like, you know what I mean? Just,
I mean, you know, that's that. Yeah, you know, when you're young, you know, you will be wilding out sometimes. We were all there.
sounds a lot like the Juan Bago response, right?
Yes.
Just take it easy. It'll come.
Take it easy and work hard. That's it, because life gives you out what you put into it. Sometimes you get dealt a shitty hand, and you got to learn to be able to get past it, but...
it's all the frequency. I don't know if y'all know more about that, but it's all the energy and frequency. You know what I mean? Like, who you connect with, who you give your energy and time to.
Yes.
I mean, so like I try to be careful who I give my time and energy to, because, you know,
Well, we appreciate your time and energy
Yes.
for stopping by. And before we wrap things up, I also have a question that I like to ask everybody that comes on the show. So what does the future hold for you?
How should I say? Good things. You know what I mean? But finish college. You know what I mean? Go pro, hopefully, and then just go from there.
Okay. And if let's say everything ends tomorrow, what would you like to be remembered as?
Oh,
Good question. I mean, I don't know. The person that was like humble, I guess, like respectful. I guess I can't think of a right word. That was just.
It's all right. That's right there. That's right there.
That's a deep one.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
oh,
Definitely, man.
Well, Angel, we hope that you fucking make it to the big leagues.
Get us
yeah.
tickets, nigga.
Hopefully, you make it to the Knicks, and get a chip that year.
Bronx born to play
Bronx
on the
born?
Knicks
Okay.
and bring a chip to the city. There's no
And get us
you
tickets?
could retire and die the next day, and you've already done more than anyone in this
Go
fucking
down
city.
with Obi Toppins. You
Yo.
heard?
I know my guy Kemba is at the Knicks now, right?
Yeah,
Shout
bro.
out to Kemba.
Shout
too,
out to
man.
Kemba playing at home.
Hope he stays healthy.
We gonna kill him, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, there's nothing like playing at home, but New York comes with a lot of
He's very
expectations
comfortable.
too.
He's comfortable in New York. I remember when
Yeah, that's true.
Reyes, you know what I mean? UConn, remember that bus?
Yeah,
beater?
yeah.
Real comfortable in the
Yeah. He should be. He's gonna bring some long-awaited excitement to the Garden. But yeah, Angel, bro,
Man,
thank you.
for coming through, bro.
Thank you for
we
coming.
expect to see you in the league
Yes.
soon. Hopefully, everything works out for the best.
Give the people your social media too, so they can follow you, follow your story. I'm sure somebody out there has been motivated by this, so let them know where they can follow you at.
Facebook, Angel Reyes. Instagram, Angel Reyes Muniz. Twitter, same thing as my Instagram. Find me there.
Follow the journey. You heard? And you can say you was there from the mud.
Follow my man Angel balling out here, man. Breaking ankles left and right. You heard?
Coming to a fucking stadium near you. You heard? Angel, we appreciate your time, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you for being here. And I would like to say, I'm sure all of us feel the same, that we're very inspired by you and what you're doing, bro. Seriously. Yeah.
Your maturity level is definitely there, and I feel that.
Absolutely, bro.